believers and newcomers alike, you are welcome to Sports Tour on Enterprise Television, your destination for the biggest sports gist on the planet. I'm Joshike Okoli, and here is what we'll be looking at today. In the Premier League, Arsenal beat Man United to close the gap on leaders Liverpool as Chelsea, Man City secure huge victories. Kylian Mbappe's penalty war continues as Real Madrid fall to Athletic Bilbao. And in tennis, Novak Djokovic to begin his bid for his 25th Grand Slam title in Brisbane. Let's take a short time out on the program. We will return for the entire coverage of our action-packed package after this break. Welcome back to Sports Store with our first stop at the Emirates Stadium as Mikel Arteta's Arsenal scored twice from corners to comfortably beat Manchester United as Ruben Amorim suffered his first defeat in English football. Defenders Julian Timber and William Saliba did the damage as the Gunners took advantage of Liverpool dropping points to trim their lead at the top of the table. Arsenal sit third with 28 points, leveled on that mark with Chelsea and 7 behind Arne Slot's Reds. Meanwhile, Fabian Schär hooked in a late equalizer as impressive Newcastle held Premier League leaders Liverpool to a draw in a hugely entertaining game at St. James's Park. The Reds thought they had done enough to secure a victory that would have maintained their 9-point lead at the top of the table after twice coming from behind before Mohamed Salah put them 3-2 ahead with 7 minutes to go. But Swiss defender Schär volleyed in from a free kick that Karim Keller came for but failed to claim to ensure a deserved point for Newcastle. At the St. Mary's Stadium, Jadon Sancho scored his first goal for Chelsea as they ruthlessly capitalized on a series of Southampton errors to run out comfortable winners in that encounter. 5-1, Chelsea won. Sancho wrapped up the scoring for the Blues after goals from Alex Disasi, Christopher Nkunku, Noni Madueke, and Cole Palmer have put them in control. The Saints briefly leveled at 1-1 through Nigerian midfielder Joe Aribo, but their capacity to self-destruct was on the line when, after falling 3-1 down, Captain Jack Stevens was sent off by referee Tony Harrington for pulling Marc Cucurella's flowing hair. And with Chelsea flying high, victory took them joint second above Arsenal and 7 points behind leaders Liverpool. In another Premier League game, champions Manchester City put their recent disastrous spell behind them as they ended a 7-game winless streak in all competitions by beating Nottingham Forest 3-0. First half goals from Bernardo Silva and starman Kevin De Bruyne put Pep Guardiola's side in command by the break, with Jeremy Doku adding a third 12 minutes after the interval. And in the last 2 Premier League games that were played on Wednesday, Everton ended a 5-game Premier League winless run as they comfortably dispatched Wolverhampton Wanderers 4-0 at Goodison Park to pile pressure on Wolves manager Gary O'Neill, while Aston Villa ended a run of 8 successive games without victory by beating Thomas Frank's Brentford 3-1 at Villa Park. From the Premier League, let's move over to Spain's La Liga and tell you that Kylian Mbappe missed penalty proved costly as Real Madrid fell to a 2-1 loss at Athletic Bilbao in La Liga. Mbappe's spot kick was saved by Julian Aguirre Zabala, a crucial moment in the match, and this was his second consecutive missed penalty, having also failed to convert against Liverpool in the Champions League last week. Jude Bellingham, Englishman, continues his impressive form, scoring his 4th goal in as many games to equalize for Real Madrid in the 78th minute. However, their joy was short-lived as Gorka Gruzeta capitalized on a costly mistake by Federico Valverde to score the winner for Athletic Bilbao. This loss marks Real Madrid's second in La Liga this season and showed that there is still work to be done by Real's coaching staff to fully integrate Kylian Mbappe into the European Champions system. This defeat means that Carlo Ancelotti's team remain 4 points off leaders Barcelona with a game in hand. Furthermore, Athletic Bilbao's first league win over Real since March 2015 moved them 3 points behind third place Atletico de Madrid. And finally, in tennis, let's tell that Novak Djokovic will begin his quest to win the Brisbane International from December 29 to January 5th before the Australian Open. The 37-year-old is tied with Margaret Court on 24 Grand Slam singles titles and is aiming to win his 25th in Melbourne. Djokovic also hopes to join Jimmy Connors, who has won 109, and Roger Federer, who has won 103, as the third man to win above 100 career titles. He will face a strong field in Brisbane, including Australian home favourite Nick Kyrgios and Grigor Dimitrov. Djokovic reached the semi-finals of the Australian Open earlier this year, losing to eventual winner and world number 1 Italian Yannick Sinner. Djokovic has appointed Andy Murray as his coach for the Australian Open. He did so in November. The former British number 1 was beaten by Djokovic in the final of the Australian Open on 4 occasions and will be there with the Serb when he begins his quest to win his 25th Grand Slam title in Australia in January. Well, that's how much we can take on sports stuff for the day. Endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Enterprise TV 7 on YouTube. Click the notification bell to get alerts on our new YouTube videos. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Share and engage with our content, and also visit our website www.enterprisetvnews.com, where we give you all the hot stories on the go and the news you can use. Furthermore, kindly send your mail to enterprisetv7@gmail.com for all sponsorship, commercial, and advertising inquiries, or slide into our DMs via our aforementioned social media handles at Enterprise TV 7. And before we go, let's leave you with this quote from the late sports icon Muhammad Ali, perhaps the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. He said, and I quote, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life." End quote. I'm Joshua Okoli, and I want to thank you for the privilege of your time. Until we meet again, it's goodbye and hasta luego.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.